Hey there, horror movie tea sippers.
The following podcast episode will contain spoilers for the movie we are about to review. If you have not seen the movie and do not wish to have anything ruined prematurely, please do not continue to watch or listen until you have seen the movie.
And welcome to the Horror Movie Tea Podcast. Today, we are covering an adaptation of one of our favorite video games of all time, Until Dawn. But before we go into the review, let's grab our cups and talk about tea. So sorry for all of these repeats. We are hustling through these recordings. I am drinking the Republic of Tea Bridgerton Brothers Triple Earl Grey tea. Ignore the fact that almost all of it's gone. Black tea, apple bits, lemongrass, lemon peel, sweet orange lemon flavor, and bergamot oil. I will say, since I've been sipping on it these last couple of episodes, it leaves the heart wanting more. Where it's like, you know, it says that it's got orange bits and apple pieces and stuff like that. It just tastes like very diluted Earl Grey to me, and that's a little sad.
That's a bummer. That's a bit of a bummer.
It is a bummer. Mm-hmm. So maybe I'll play around with it. Maybe I'll add more tea bags to make it stronger, but then it might get bitter. Might add some milk to it. I don't know. I'll have to play around with it.
I'm drinking Bigelow's Perfectly Mint black tea, and it's got black tea and spearmint. I added a little bit of monk fruit because she didn't have sugar. And honestly, like, it's a classic for me. I was very satisfied with mine.
I'm glad to hear it. But for our tea sippers out there, brew yourself a cup of tea, sit back, relax, and we hope you enjoyed the review. So, I did not write a summary, but we know what it's about. So, it's about the sister who went missing, and the other sister goes with her friends to go find this missing sister. And
visit the places that she was traveling through.
Yes.
See if they can find some clue about her, but also find some closure.
Yes. Because I guess the friends are kind of assuming that she's dead, but I feel like the sister is kind of...
It's hard not to stop holding on to hope.
Yes, yeah. And they go to a... What would you even... Almost looks like a bed and breakfast type of place. Mm-hmm. But it's like it's a place you stay. Like a hotel, motel.
Like an inn.
Yes. And they get trapped there, and they find out that they have to all survive by dawn, and each time they get killed, they get closer and closer to becoming a Wendigo. And if you become a Wendigo, then you get stuck there forever. The end. So, for entertainment, I will say that when I first watched this movie, I was very disappointed with it because I was expecting an Until Dawn adaptation. And it definitely does take some things from the game, but it's more like Easter eggs and like, oh, look, we shoved this in here.
They crowbarred some things in there.
Yeah, so it definitely is not a direct adaptation. Mm-hmm. It feels more like a separate movie or story. But I will say that since I've watched it now multiple times, like 3 or 4 times at this point, I definitely appreciate the movie a bit more. It's kind of like one of those things where it's like in my brain, I kind of separate it out from the video game.
You have to.
Yeah. And so from the movie itself, I think the premise is really interesting. And I give it, I had a little bit higher of a rating, but I think I brought it too high. I give it a... It's difficult because
It is.
I dance between a 7.5 and a 7.75, and the reason being is because it's like if I isolate the movie to itself, I really like it, but at the same time, but if you think about the movie logic, it does really feel like shoehorned in there, so it doesn't make as much sense. But it's like I like okay, I'm just going to go with the 7.75. I'm just going to stick with that. The movie doesn't take itself too seriously, and that does carry it over into the characters. So that makes it a little bit more fun. I kind of like, it's one of those weird movies where it pretends to be serious, but I mean, they explode from drinking water. Like, come on. Like, so, and some of the kills in general, they make like really like chaotic and ridiculous. So, and yeah, the characters are more like entertaining than impactful. It is nice that all of the characters are distinct, so you can tell them apart. But I do feel like as the movie goes on, the characters kind of run together for me a little bit. But yeah, it definitely does not capture the same tone and intensity of the game. Now, to be fair, the game is campy. Like,
Yeah.
it's supposed to simulate
it's meant to be campy.
horror.
Uh-huh.
And you know, they make like really, you know, campy jokes and cringe jokes and stuff like that. But it's like
All on purpose.
Yes. And that's kind of how the game was supposed to play out. But it's like it also does have like a really good scary element to it. And so I really wish this movie would have copied that tone a bit more. Versus it's like it doesn't feel campy. It just feels more ridiculous
Yes.
than anything. Like trying to be serious, but also okay being ridiculous at the same time. Also, I mean, I do like all of the Easter eggs that they included. Like, I was not expecting them to include the therapist guy that's in the movies. That I thought
I'm surprised he agreed to it.
yeah. But it definitely 100% strays way far away from the source material. My biggest issue, I mean, there's a long laundry list of issues. And that's why I say, like, you know, by itself, trying to separate myself from the game as much as possible when thinking of the movie. I do really like the movie. I think it's an interesting concept. But whenever I put the game into, because, you know, it's literally supposed to be, I think it actually says like PlayStation in the front, in the credits or whatever in the beginning.
I think it's like Sony or something. Like
yeah,
that,
so it's like it literally is supposed to be an Until Dawn adaptation, and that just creates a whole laundry list of problems. So yeah, but anyway, so my biggest though is the Wendigos. They make them feel way too zombie-like, which takes away from like the lore of the Wendigos in the game. And I mean, I will say like some of them are done better than others.
The sister comes to mind.
Yes. But for the most part, they kind of feel like just zombies.
Yeah.
And also they kind of break what Wendigo lore is.
Yes.
By that, I mean, you know, I guess there's no rule saying that you have to stick with it, but it's like, it's literally a Wendigo. The game,
Don't call it that then.
The game, you know, gives you the lore behind them, and then the movie's
And
like,
there's actual lore.
yes, right. Like it's grounded in actual, like, yeah, mythos or whatever.
Yes. If you're not going to use it, then don't call it that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We'll get to my turn.
Yeah, like I feel like, you know, taking away from the game, thinking of the movie itself, I feel like tonally it does a decent enough job where it's like it kind of takes itself seriously, but not too seriously, and so it makes like the kills and all the stuff they go through funny, or can be funny. But I don't know. It's like I said, if I compare it to if it's by itself, it's like there's problems with it, but I do really enjoy it, and it's like, yeah, I like it. It's like not perfect by any means, but I like it. So that's why I would rate it a 7.5. But, you know, if I am including what it does with the game and stuff like that, I probably give it like a 6.5. So, but yeah. I don't know, maybe
so nice.
Really? It's not like I don't know.
You are so nice and generous. It's so nice and generous.
But whenever you're rating,
heart.
are you comparing it to the game, or are you doing it in isolation?
I have 2 different ratings, one for each.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You have such a big heart. And I love you for it. I give this game, or this movie, if on its own, not comparing it to the movie, which is hard to do, I give it a 6. On its own. Separating it from the game. If I were including the game aspect of it, it would be a 4. At most. Honestly, like, it did get better. It did get better upon a couple of watches.
Yes.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. And part of that was because I was so pissed the first time I watched it. Do not advertise it as an Until Dawn movie if you're really, only going to take the barest inspiration from the game. You had the source material was a good, solid plot. It was a good,
literally
solid
had
plot.
It laid out. They had
it all laid out. They had lore in there. You found little bits throughout the game that added to it. They didn't like shove everything at you all at once or anything, or, you know, assume that you're stupid and feed you everything. Like, you found little bits, and there were some things that even in the game were fairly subtle and all. So you had great source material and didn't use it.
Like, they could even do the same where, like, they kind of showed the perspective from different characters for a little bit, and then they show how it all blends together at the end. Like, that would have been really cool.
That would have been great. And the plot itself, like, the storyline itself was really good and solid.
Yes.
But in the movie, no, we have to add time loops and random possessions and witches and ghosts and exploding water.
Yeah, it was pretty
for
random.
No reason.
I
was pissed.
I did kind of like how, like, you know, in the beginning with the first time loop, they're like, oh, why is the handwriting getting all... And so it's like, it kind of that reveals,
part was nice.
Like, what's happening to them.
That part was nice, again, when you separate the movie from the game.
Yeah.
But I am honestly extremely disappointed still that they didn't just...
They just need
make
to do
a movie
redo.
Out of the game.
Yeah, they need to do a
do
redo.
Not call it Until Dawn if you are going to have all the logos and everything and have nothing to do with the game.
Yeah.
Also, the Wendigos, once again, you have all of this lore available. You have all of this lore and you don't use any of it. So they look more like normal zombies than in the game. There was no crawling on the walls. There's no supernatural speed, no mimicking of voices, none of that, which is in both the game and lore. So, no. Just, no. Stop it. They also take entirely too long to start strategizing, which I know is also partly in realism, but heavily affected my score for entertainment. Like, that just, it drove me nuts. It drove me nuts. So, there was a lot of cheesy stuff. Some of the effects were not great. It was... This movie made me so mad.
I think with this one, I can just turn off my brain, and that's why it's a higher score.
I can't do that. I can't do that. And they don't explain a whole lot about the loop itself. So it's a bit of a cheat.
Yeah.
And they just shoehorn stuff in there with a crowbar. And they don't... Like, they never explain this exploding water. I had to look up different theories and things online for that because it made no sense in context or anything. And just...
They just wanted different ways to kill them, yeah.
There are so many other ways. And they didn't follow their own rules for some of it. So it just broke realism and movie-going experience. So just... I give it a 6. It did come up after a few watches when I really, really forced myself to separate the movie from the game. And it's okay. We've seen better movies. It's not necessarily my cup of tea. It's a time loop movie. It's like, I'd rather watch Happy Death Day.
Yeah.
I'd much rather watch Happy Death Day.
That is a fun one.
So, it was fine. It was okay. But definitely don't go into this movie with the mindset of this is going to be based on the game. Because it has nothing to do with the game. Nothing. And that royally pissed me off.
Yeah, because it's like... I don't know about you, but it's like I had not seen any trailers about it or anything. I had just seen it pop up and be like, Until Dawn. I'm like, what? I'm like, that logo looks familiar. And then I'm like, oh my God.
Yes.
And then...
And even the description that we were reading made it sound like it was going to be just like the game. And then we watched it and... I was displeased.
Yeah.
I was very displeased. But let's go ahead with the realism.
So,
the nearly non-existent realism.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like okay.
They broke their own rules.
Yes, it's like they would tell you, oh, this is what we're going to do, and then they wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
It's like I'm kind of mixed because on the one hand, since the kills and stuff are ridiculous, and so I'm like, feels like it's trying to not take itself too seriously, but the characters are serious. So it's like, so it's like I feel like we should take anyway. So like the character reactions, and as you go along, and like when they're hiding and stuff, they are not very, very good at staying alive.
They suck.
And you would think that after so much practice that they would get progressively better.
I know they don't remember most of the stuff that happens in the previous loops and all, but come on.
Yeah.
They really sucked at staying alive.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and it's like, is it all of the time? Because I thought, at least my impression was, they did remember some of the time loops, especially like early on when they were more cognitively like with it. But then like whenever they started getting more like deeper, then that's where it was more difficult for them to remember.
Yeah, but they don't remember the time loop fully. Because even in, like, the second one, they're like, I think we died.
Yeah. Yeah. But Yeah, the whole weird premise of, oh, you know, we were experimenting with these Wendigo things, and I don't know, just the whole like premise of the time loop itself is also, I don't know, did I say my rating?
No, you didn't.
Okay, I give it a 1.5. The character reactions are hit or miss. Like, some of them, I'm like, okay, that's reasonable. While others, it kind of, yeah, it feels like, were you even thinking, or were you just panicking? And, I mean, to be fair, if they're just panic. But anyways, it just, yeah. Just, also, I really wish they would have explained whenever they're, like, driving out of the time loop thing and there's that giant ass monster.
Yeah, they never mention that again.
Yeah, they never explain it. They never mention it. Like, what is that?
And they don't try it again to see, because everything changes every loop.
Yes.
And they don't think, like, it might not be there this time. It's a different challenge. Let's try leaving again.
Yeah.
Nope. They try it once and then don't try it again.
Yeah.
I give it a 1. I give it a 1. They broke their own goddamn rules. The challenges are different and varied, which is kind of nice for entertainment wise, because you get something different every time. But there's no consistency
Yes.
with any of it.
Yep.
They take entirely too long to start strategizing. They don't have a system of any kind.
Yeah, they could have used the notebook or whatever to try and write what they could remember with each loop.
Yep.
And be like, okay, this didn't work. Stay away from the water. Like, yeah.
Don't drink the water.
Because we know, they see their name every time.
Yeah.
So we know.
So the
that
writing
they can,
stays.
Yeah.
And we find out later that videos stay too, but they don't check that until toward the end. So that's a thing. I counted off because the body of the dude at the wall would not hang there like that and then fall in half. That's not how that works. I counted off because why did the first 2 people explode in one go, but the Asian chick had bits explode at a time while crawling towards them? I know it was a terror factor, or supposed to be, but
I can't remember if it was her that drank less water. I remember noting that one of them drank less water. I think it was her, and that's maybe why she didn't explode all at once. I don't know.
She also drank after the other 2 that were still alive.
Yes.
But she did drink about the same amount that the other 2 did. It just wasn't as near as much as the first dude.
Yeah, he was.
But, like, why in bits and pieces? And then later in the show, one of the main dudes gets a mouthful, barely, of trickling water and explodes like that. So, inconsistent. Rude. Again, bit of a cheat to say the loop was basically just there already after the mining incident. And Dr. Hill just happened to discover it and exploit it to sadistically study the effect of fear on a person and how it can turn them into a Wendigo, which is not how that works. But okay. And again, if people that don't escape the loop within a certain amount of time all become Wendigos, why aren't there more Wendigos? Why are there ghosts and witches and a psycho killer and exploding water? Literally the next thing I put. Can someone please explain the exploding water? I had to look it up. The thing that makes the most sense that I could find is that it's just a potential explanation, is that the water was contaminated with nitroglycerin, which is in like TNT and gunpowder and all. And that is hazardous. It is very hazardous to consume that because it can easily cause hypertension and several other concerning symptoms, but it doesn't cause spontaneous exploding limbs. That's not how that works. Also, the parasite scene on the phone was the furthest thing from okay.
Yeah.
Why were there parasites? Also, how dare you make the audience witness that?
Yeah, that's gross.
That's just wrong on so many levels. They also escaped the Wendigos way too easily with no bites at the end. Just saying.
Yeah.
And I honestly didn't write down like half of my thoughts for this movie because it would have been way too long. Those were the main things that I counted off for. I wouldn't have counted off as much if they actually stuck to their own rules. Do not put forth rules in the movie if you're just going to break them.
Yep.
That's what I got.
Well, another episode of Mixed Bag.
This movie made me mad.
Well,
Doesn't help that I'm hungry, but this movie made me mad.
well, with that being said, thank you for joining us today, and let us know what you thought of the movie. If you'd like to recommend a movie Gamer Tea, you can leave us a comment or join our Discord. And if you'd like to keep up to date with our content, you can find our link tree listed below.
If you'd like to support the podcast, please like, share, and subscribe to our content. We also have a Teespring and a PayPal donate button available if you'd like to support us monetarily. And again, you can find all of those sites mentioned linked below. But until the next time, guys, stay safe and stay spoopy. Bye!